Take a mortal man and put him in control. Watch him become a god. Watch people's heads roll. Roll. Just like the Pied Piper, led rats through the streets. Dance like the merry.
Chat, is this autism? What's that, Sigma?
Toy Story 3. Damn, this movie is good. I freaking love Toy Story 3. It's probably the best way they could have capped off the trilogy. Yes, Toy Story is a trilogy, don't at me. Look at the end of Toy Story 3 and tell me this isn't the end of an epic trilogy.
Don't be saying that dumb shit. I'll fucking kill you.
But this video isn't about the movie. I don't review movies, that's the freak's job. I review games, and today we're going to be talking about two of them. Toy Story 3 on Xbox and Toy Story 3 on the DS.
I've played both of these games before, but I was so young and I was bad at video games that I never really got through them. And also, I never owned either of them, because I was alive for video rentals. I know. But let's get to something that's more relevant for you guys. I'll get back to my history later.
The main version of Toy Story 3 the game was developed by Avalanche Software, a name you probably haven't heard of, but they have quite the history. They made the home console ports of UMK3 and MK Trilogy, as well as the N64 port of MK Mythology Sub-Zero. After that promising start, they developed a slew of sports games for a while until they were acquired by Disney. While under control of the mouse, they were tasked with inoffensive adaptations of new movies. This is of course where Toy Story 3 comes in. They also made Hogwarts Legacy, but who cares about that? Disney Infinity is way cooler.
Alright, I think that's enough introduction for a movie that we've already seen already. Let's get right into the game.
So are we supposed to get out of here or what? How are we supposed to do that? By walking out? Makes sense.
Our Toy Story 3 starts off in the Wild West, much like the movie. The set piece is an epic train heist. Unlike the movie, there's no freaky monkeys, but I guess I'll live without them. The evil Dr. Porkchop is up to no good, so we spring into action. I just want to say this is a great intro. It's fast-paced, has great spectacle, and introduces the player to one of the best parts of the game, the controls. This game feels phenomenal. I know feel is a hard thing to actually discuss, but the best way I can put it is that it feels exactly like you think it does by watching. Anyway, that's all I really have to say about this opening section. We defeat Professor Pompous Penis Pummeling Porkchop and we get to see the main board, which functions as a main menu. At this point, you can choose to continue with the story, which loosely follows the movie, or play Woody's goddamn motherfucking Roundup, boy.
This isn't loaded.
How is this guy so stupid? I'm pretty sure there's black mold in here, man.
Time to round up some goddamn Woodies.
Now let's step back a little bit. When Avalanche were tasked with making a Toy Story 3 tie-in game, they went to the mouse with two ideas: an adaptation of the movie and a sandbox collectathon. For once in his 100 years of existence, Michael Mouse stuck his finger in his belly button, smelled it, and said, why not both? Barring the scent of honey mustard now permeating the room, that's a pretty good situation for a dev to be in. Both ideas got accepted, woohoo! But sadly, money and deadlines still exist, and while I wouldn't say the movie tie-in is bad, it is clear most of the dev time went into Woody's Roundup. Because of this, and also the fact that
I love Woody's Roundup.
we're gonna hop, skip, and freak into it. Don't worry, we'll get to everything else, including the story and other versions, but
I love Woody's Roundup. I love Woody's Roundup so much I would kill a fucking baby to talk about Woody's Roundup. I need to talk about
Woody's Roundup is a 3D collectathon platformer. Don't know what that means? Well, it means you jump places to collect things. A thon. Look at all these things to collect. You can get coins and balls and items and criminals and townspeople and costumes and playsets and cars and god, wee mom, I'm collecting. Because I am severely autistic and have made a commitment to being thorough this video, I'm going to talk about every single aspect of this children's game because I do in fact have opinions on them. To start with, despite the mode being a fairly open sandbox, the mode does have missions which serve as a through line. Most of them are fairly simple and serve to only introduce mechanics, but some have a little bit more going on. And when I say some, I mean some. As I am writing this, the only one that really stands out to me is when Mayor Ham gets porknapped by the profoundly peccable plunderers and you have to save him.
Do you think they know alliteration isn't cool anymore? I don't think they know what planet they're on, man.
Now, I don't know if I fired 3 shots or 4 back there. I failed the first grade. Gotta ask you though, you wanna bet on it? Could even say, are you feeling lucky? Jump.
A feature that will either be completely irrelevant to you or amazingly charming is the townspeople. I love the townspeople. This game absolutely oozes charm, and it's most noticeable with the townspeople. They serve several roles. Firstly, to be adorable. I mean, look at this little guy. Secondly, they're customizable. Most collectibles in the game are either skins for the regular townspeople or skins for the alien townspeople. There's other things to get, but there's simply so many townspeople skins that this is what you'll see the most. And I love this. Even if I'll never put an outfit on a townsperson, they're just so charming, collecting them stays fun throughout.
Now, if all you do is collect the outfits and do what I admitted to be fairly uneventful missions, then why is this game good? Well, that's not all you do. Why don't you let me finish? You whiny baby. Wait.
As you play the game and gather money, you get to spend it at the Perv's Toy Barn and unlock more sweet, delicious content. The absolute best bits, in my humble, correct opinion, are the 3 new areas you can unlock. Tragically, they're all kind of the same in terms of gameplay, but that means I can speak about them in general terms, so let's just get started. The 3 areas are the Haunted House, Zurg Spaceship, and the Enchanted Tree Thingy. Each of these has its own set of themed collectibles, a linear stage, new enemy types, new weapons to kill those enemy types, and they also help you get collectibles in the main area. They also add a weather theme, added events in the town, and so much charm that I painted my room landlord white. They're about on the same level as everything else in the game, but the amount of charm that's put into each and every one made me so excited to buy them. When I was a kid, I could never save up enough coins to buy any of them, so I would just look at them in the menu, wondering what secrets they had in store, and I was not disappointed. Yes, I was a really stupid kid.
How come every time I walk in here, you're not working on a video?
First of all, you're a PNG, and Red Dead Redemption is better than making videos.
No it's not, you countrified loser. Now get back in the studio.
Yeah, it is. And I've already talked about all the cool stuff anyway.
Don't care, get to it.
No.
My name is John Marston!
Well, let me have a roll and a saw on the board, I'll cut it.
Fairly early on, you unlock the Pictomatic, which is yet another vessel for the game to leak charm onto your floor. The goal is to recreate all the pictures by dressing up your townspeople and moving them around. Gameplay-wise, this is fairly harmless, even a little tedious, but it's just so dang adorable. Another entry in the adds a new checklist are the paratroopers. They are located at high up spots and you have to control them to help them parachute down to targets. Some of the targets are in some fairly devilish locations, but as a whole, these are alright. The final thing I have mostly positive feelings towards is Bullseye. Woody's trusty steed is nothing like my horse. He's fast, nimble, fun to ride, and he wins things. It's a great method of traversal, but naturally there's also timed races to do, and I think they're pretty fun. If I'm being honest, they're possibly a little too forgiven, even for a children's game, but I still enjoyed myself.
Oh my god, is this gonna be another stupid long video with tons of yapping?
I'm not even close to done yet. You don't even know.
Following the standard structure of my writing, let's talk about what I don't like. Mostly, it's these two things. The sports car is uncontrollably fast, but that's not much of a problem in the car arena challenges. It's silly, if a little underwhelming before you buy the car arena. Now the micro car is where I have some issues. Let's start by saying I was originally going to 100% the game, and this micro car is the reason I didn't. First of all, it controls like ass, and it turns a non-issue into a problem. As you collect more townspeople, customize everything, and add more things to your game, the performance in the main area can get pretty bad. Normally, it doesn't matter. It's distracting once you've experienced most of the content, but still acceptable. Once you get the micro car, however, it becomes a pretty big issue. This car will flip over at the smallest thing and does not have a comfortable speed. It's either too slow or you can't tell what's happening because of the slideshow frame rates. Does that sound bad enough? Yeah, well, it gets worse. The other races in the game have a simple structure. Finish fast enough and earn a medal. The microcar is different. You play a challenge once for the bronze, once for the silver, and once for the gold, with it getting substantially harder each time. That's 3 playthroughs using this bum-ass car that I don't enjoy in the first place. So yeah, I didn't 100% Toy Story 3. Call me a fake gamer or whatever, but the microcar sucks. Something that probably only bothers me personally is the field day missions. After destroying the dam and unlocking the outskirts of town, you're asked to populate it. One of the buildings is a school, and this activates the field day stuff. There's a variety of missions to do, but none of them can actually be completed. They'll never go away and they'll always be playable. I find this to be very frustrating, but that's not actually what I want to talk about. One of the missions is a time trial where you have to go from the back corner of town to the top of the area and then back. The gold qualify time is 45 seconds, frankly an insane ask. I spent a good 30 minutes trying to figure out how to do it. I eventually gave up and Googled and found 14-year-old threads of people asking the same question as me. I eventually whipped this method up, so if you want to know, here you go. On a different note, I also find the town events rather annoying. After unlocking the 3 themed areas, there's a random chance that enemies may emerge from them and wreak absolute havoc. While it's cool the first time, after a while it just gets annoying. You come back to town and there's enemies who are turned to stone or like ghosts in there. It's just nonsense everywhere. I just don't want to deal with it.
It's time for the required unscripted section. Let me rename bad to yeah, okay. Butthole. So that's better, I think. Okay. So first of all, this microcar, and yeah, the microcar goes in bad. Butthole. Absolute shit. I hate the microcar. Microcar it's garbage. The cutscenes have a lot of charm. And I like the charm. That's the whole reason I like this game. It has charm coming out of every orifice, out the nose, out the eyes, out the ears, out the mouth, out the butt, you know? Let me Woody's Roundup tier. There. How's that? How's that? Wait, I have an idea. I don't know why I would do that. Alright guys, here it is. It's Puerto Rican Buzz. Yeah, that's gonna sound good in the video, I think. Yeah, no, this is peak. Woody's Roundup is peak. I have a new tier for the car. No. Not even on screen anymore. Yeah, that's fitting.
I do kind of feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, the settings. Fine, I'll talk about the story.
As mentioned previously, I think it's clear, or at least it seems to me, that most of the effort went into Woody's Roundup. This isn't to say the story is bad, it's just less interesting, and strangely it doesn't follow the movie all that much. The humans are entirely absent, as are Barbie and Ken, but that's understandable because licensing and all that. Regardless, we're still gonna go over it because I played it and I recorded it, so why not? We've already gone over the intro, so let's hop into mission 2, Hold the Phone. This mission serves as an extension of the intro, teaching you about each character's unique ability, how to use them together, and also introducing the paratroopers. It's a fine level. It serves its purpose well, and much like the rest of the game, has tons of collectibles that I don't care about. I know that I gushed about the collectibles in Woody's Roundup, and while that stands true, the majority of the collectibles in the story are just extra fodder. Cool if you were really into the movie, but not something I really care about, to be honest. Next we have the Buzz Space level, and I do not like it. The environment gets kinda drab after a certain point, and it overstays its welcome for a gimmick level. The scene was 10 seconds in the movie, and we get what feels like 2 levels in 1 out of it. Not a fan of it, though I do understand it. Easy to reuse assets, and Toy Story 3 doesn't have the most action-packed first half. Our next stop is Sunnyside Daycare, where as mentioned previously, Ken is absent and in its place is basically just the field day stuff from Woody's Roundup. Was there really no other way to have a level here? At least it doesn't have that annoying ass time trial. Our next set piece is this exceedingly strange witch trying to kill us for like 25 minutes straight. First of all, this is where I noticed that there are no humans in this story, because this level is supposed to represent playtime with Bonnie. You know, the character who isn't in the game? Secondly, I know I said Buzz's level was too long, but this one is actually 2 levels in 1. There's the linear escape section and the space section where you have to power on the space generator, I guess. This is literally 2 entirely separate levels that aren't very good. Both of them feel like a break from the fun part, but I don't know, maybe I'm just being whiny. We return to following the story with a stealth mission at Sunnyside. This mission is good, no complaints. It's exactly what you'd expect a Toy Story 3 game to have if you've ever seen the movie. The stealth mechanics are functional, not too punishing, and the layout is good. Overall, a real solid level. After we restart Buzz, we go directly to the trash level. Yeah, okay, that's not sudden at all. In this level, all the side characters who were totally in the rest of the game, I promise, get stuck on the trash conveyor belt, and we have to switch between all the characters to save them in time. This is actually a fairly well executed idea, but I would be lying if it wasn't jarring for the devs to suddenly remember they made a platformer with character switching mechanics. You would think this would be the end of the game, because it basically is the end of the movie. But no, apparently we need to wrap up the witch thing from earlier. Yeah, I didn't really understand this. To me, this whole thing screams they were crunched or out of money. The stage is entirely reused Woody's Roundup assets, and the fight just has us do the same thing like 4 times. It does have spectacle, I will admit, but I was just so confused at this point. Hopefully you guys can see why I consider this the lesser half of the game. Remove the open explorable environment with tons to do, and what you're left with is the most serviceable 3D platformer ever made. There's nothing wrong with it, but there's also nothing right with it. I'd rather just watch the movie.
Have you or a loved one recently found yourselves getting work done, having friends comment on how focused you are, or just generally not being obnoxious? Try Reddit, the all-in-one fix to being a pleasant person. Before starting Reddit, I was a Christian. Now I realize r/atheism is just more Keanu Chungus. This video was supposed to come out 4 weeks ago. Can you believe that? Thanks to Reddit, I was able to delay it until the servers went down and I was forced to be productive. Talk to your doctor and see if Reddit is right for you.
Side effects may include suicidal thoughts, suicidal ideation, weight gain, arrogance, worse opinions, sudden affinity for Elon Musk. Please don't operate heavy machinery while using Reddit.
Yeah, work it. Work it. Oh, hi. Now we're gonna go over the versions that I specifically didn't play for this video. Seems kinda silly, but, you know, I like to be thorough.
First of all, do not play the PC version. Yeah, I know it's on Steam, but it's actually the Wii version, which is an issue for a few reasons. First of all, it looks worse. Duh, it's kind of a no-brainer for a Wii port, but it's also missing substantial content. Woody's Roundup doesn't even end. The missions just stop appearing. It feels like they realized the game was too big at the last minute and hacked off content with an axe. It's also missing customization. Like, all of it. On top of all of that, it's also crazy buggy, so yeah, don't play the Wii or the PC ports. The final different version of the game is the PS2 and PSP version, though I do want to give a shout out to the PS3 version of the main game, which lets you play as Zurg. Yeah, that's enough for me to mention it. I was gonna play it, but honestly I didn't want to get the PS3 out. Anyway, the PS2 and PSP versions lack the Roundup mode entirely, which means they're bad, 0 out of 10. though they do have a much longer and more in-depth story, so they might be worth checking out. Who knows?
Now that we have all that out of the way, we can hop into the DS version. Now, as mentioned previously, I didn't own this game as a kid, so I had to buy it for the video. However, as me and the Freak are still working out how to record DS footage and have it not look like garbage, we're just gonna have to emulate it. Nintendo can sue me, I guess.
Oh no, we gotta get out of here. They can't be making that type of jokes. Oh no, they're already here. No!
Alright, the DS version. Be a gamer? Oh, this is bringing back some memories. Surprisingly, all of this Disney gamer stuff is still mildly functional. See, this was an age where internet stuff was only required for stuff that actually needed the internet. Nowadays, you can't progress offline in Hitman because, oh no, what if you cheat in our single-player game? I digress. Our journey starts as it does in the main version, with a train, an evil robot pig, and Woody's beautiful face. This level consists only of running on the train, and it has lots of DS stylus swiping. For a game released in 2012, it's a little gratuitous, but it's fine, I guess. Unless I accidentally mess up the emulator, damn it. Alright, let's switch to one that I can actually full screen. Okay, now I'm out. Okay, now I'm ready. For some reason, after switching, I started getting DS achievements for the Disney gamer stuff, so that's cool, I guess. Strangely enough, Ham doesn't blow up the bridge until we reach the front of the train, so his plan doesn't really make any sense. Suddenly, the game scares me and needs both screens, so hate to do this, but the rest of the vid will be in the vertical mode. I'll give you some custom borders. Oh yeah, look at that, that's great. Anyway, back to it. Train falls, oh no, but Buzz saves the day. Now we get to watch stills from the movie appear very slowly. At least we get to see Andy in this version, I guess. That is not a still from the movie. Yeah, okay, let's hurry it up. Trust me, this would be funny if I wasn't so befuddled right now. Alright, time for the real game. It's Operation Phone time, just like in the movie. Our plan starts by filling up Ham with coins so we can launch him with a catapult. Seems simple enough. Oh boy, we have to drag the coins into him using the Nintendo DS stylus. This sure is some gameplay. We get to the next coin stack, and you know, I'm starting to think Ham is into this. I'm looking for the coins, and I feel like this drum should be able to do something, but you know, maybe I'm stupid. Next coin stack. Yeah, you're a freak. Oh sweet, alien, let's go. We get the final coin stack and switch to Woody. Oh, so that's how that works. I just had to wait for the game to tell me how to do it. You know, okay. We get the ruler that is only used for school, I'm absolutely sure. He measures his penis. And then Buzz flies, and oh boy, the mandatory space section. This one doesn't drag as hard as the main version though. It's just a quick little romp in the middle of the mission, and honestly for the DS, it's pretty cool. I have no doubt that it could look a little better, and you can definitely see the seams, but this is pretty cool. We get the phone to the gang, and you know, I just realized the dialogue scenes are kind of like BioWare, like Mass Effect. Anyway, we have to make sure we are ready to be played with, so we do some tower defense. Yeah, this is what I mainly remember from the game as a kid. It's baby's first tower defense, easy as can be, but it has these cool little guys, and I love the playmats, so you know, it's neat.
Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but this section is already as long as the 360 story recap. Now, this isn't a Let's Play channel, so we're going to be a little more brisk moving forward, but I do want to clarify, the DS version is just way more interesting from a story perspective. Though I am admittedly jaded towards the 360 story, because if I'm going to play the 360 version, I'd rather play Woody's Roundup, of course.
We finish the tutorial and do a round of playtime. I spam towers everywhere, isn't it beautiful? Until the last wave where Ham just ignores everything and survives on 1 HP and I lose. Fuck. Luckily, I don't even have to beat him. Like I said, baby's first tower defense, winning is optional. We get more epic stills from the movie, and now it's garbage day time. It plays out as it does in the movie with the other toys accidentally getting thrown out, and you know what? I hate this part of the movie, it's dumb. Why don't they just believe Woody? He's not a liar. I mean, he might be. Anyway, they go to daycare and think it's gonna be great. Woody, however, immediately tries to get out. We fly away successfully, but get captured by this booger eater. I freaking hate Bonnie. This leaves Buzz and the rest of the toys to face the toddlers alone. They capture the others and we have to save them. Also, humans in gameplay. It's great, I know. We save most of them, but the kids storm the castle and we're forced into more tower defense, and I accidentally placed my towers at the wrong end. Don't worry about it. Unlike last time, I wiped the floor with the boss, probably because of how many more upgrades you get this time. We return to Woody at Bonnie's and begin devising a plan to get to Andy. Talk to the hedgehog? Yeah, I'd rather not. Unsurprisingly, the video game hedgehog is an asshole. We chase him down and the gay horse has to just play along. Play? Like playtime? Tower defense time? We win epically and learn that apparently Sunnyside is hard to escape. They tell us to talk to Chuckles to learn more, and after getting murdered by Chuckles because who else could have pushed this eraser, we're told that Lotso is evil. We cut back to Buzz and the gang and it's time for the nighttime stealth level. This one isn't as stealthy as the 360 version. I didn't get caught once, so it's kinda just set dressing, but that might change if I was 9 years old. As a whole, the DS version caters more to the younger crowd with forgiving checkpoints and very little difficulty. Anyway, we reach the evil green vending machine, glad they recreated this, and kindly ask Lotso to be transferred to the big kid room. Lotso makes Buzz Mexican Buzz and sends us to space to capture all of our friends in the first-person shooter. This is pretty cool. It's easy, a little mindless, but yet again, it's cool for the DS. I love how you can use cover and dodge projectiles. Until the last section, at least. Jesus. Do y'all play Payday 2? You know Goatsum? Oh, where, there's no cover, where? Yeah, this is what no cover looks like. Also, Goatsum on DS isn't that hard, just get good. As all of our friends are captured and Buzz likes Modelo now, we need a hero, and I guess Woody's gonna be that hero. After probably the shortest mission in the game, we get the stills from the movie showing the dramatic trash scene and we are off to the landfill. The first bit of this level takes place in the dump and not the incinerator, which I actually like. You know what I just noticed though? Apparently we've rescued everyone, but where's Jesse? Strange. Anyway, we get to the incinerator area and Lotso is here. We decide to save him because this game sucks. I do find this section to be well thought out though. Having to find metal bits to stick to the wall is very unique. We escape the shredder, but Lotso betrays us. Bastard. How could we have seen this coming? Luckily the aliens save us, and that's Toy Story on DS.
Now, why did the DS version get a full in-depth run-through while the 360 version got what's basically a glance? Well, because the DS version was more interesting from the story perspective. Woody's Roundup is still a great collectathon, and admittedly, it's the best experience out of any of the Toy Story 3 games that you can play. I just thought that this one was more interesting to talk about from a video making perspective. Both of them are great games, and if you're interested, I'd highly suggest looking into them. Now the real question is, what am I going to do next?
Long time no see.